In Jewish, Christian, and Muslim Bibles, Job is a revered prophet among the holy books, yet the genealogy of Job is not listed in any of the ancient tomes. In fact, very little genealogical information is given about him in Hebrew and Christian Bible traditions, other than he came from the land of Uz. The land of Uz also is a mystery, as the Bible only mentions this place one other time. Lamentations 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The majority of biblical scholars believe this is a reference to the nation of Edom in present-day western Jordan and southern Israel. A minority of theologians disagree and claim Uz included a region more southern in Arabia, east of Petra, in present-day Jordan. Others proclaim the land extended to present-day Bashan in southern Syria and western Jordan, and even unto modern-day Uzbekistan. The Dead Sea Scrolls further expand upon the location of Uz. War Scroll 2:11. They shall fight against the rest of the sons of Arameah, Uz, Hul, Togar, and Mesha, who are beyond the Euphrates. Evidently, Uz existed beyond the Euphrates River. In this respect, the Dead Sea Scroll is connecting the land in relation to the nation of Aram, which were the children of Nachor, descendants of Abraham's brother Nahor. The nation of Aram was located in present-day Syria, including areas where the cities of Damascus and Aleppo now stand. The Quran does not speak of Job's homeland, but touches upon Job himself. The prophets in Surah 21:83. And Job, when he cried out to his Lord, "Great harm has afflicted me, and you are the most merciful of the merciful." The majority of Islamic commentators find plausible cause to believe Job came from the nation of Edom and was a descendant of Esau. A minority of Islamic scholars agree Job was an ancestor of the Romans. Muslim literature also comments on Job's time frame, saying that he came before Joseph, who was the son of Jacob, and spread the word of God to his own people rather than being sent to a specific community. The ancient kingdom of Edom was once divided between present-day Israel and Jordan. The mystery of where Job actually came from and his lineage remains a mystery. He appeared in various religious literature for a brief period in time, then vanished from history altogether, leaving the scholars and theologians debating even unto the 21st century about this mysterious prophet who endured horrid suffering in the name of his God. Neither Job nor his ancestors are ever mentioned in any of the genealogies. The main reason for this is that the writer remains completely anonymous. Moreover, scholars still have no idea when this book was written. They have proposed dates as early as the 10th century BCE and as late as the 4th century BCE, around the time of the exile. There are no forensic clues within the story that might help locate it in time. Scholars have relied upon phrases or word studies for help, but ultimately to no avail. Most opt for a time between the 10th and 7th centuries, but even that is a 300-year spread. This does not mean that the scholars have nothing to say about the author. Indeed, he is commonly thought to be among the greatest wise men in all of Israel. He was certainly well educated, as evidenced by his broad vocabulary. He has a vast knowledge of nature and knows well the habits of animals. He was familiar with precious stones, listing over 13 by name. He understood weather patterns and could read the stars. He also described mining, hunting, and trapping practices of ancient Israel. He was well versed in other cultures, especially Egypt. Noted parallels between the Book of Job and ancient Ugaritic texts cannot be that coincidental. He also knew his own patriarchal history, which included ancient names for God and past ethical standards. He was, of course, very spiritually minded. And lastly, he was a devout servant of God and struggled mightily with the disconnect between a just God and unjust circumstances. A few religious scholars believe that Job and Jashub were the same person. According to the King James Bible, he was a son of Issachar and a grandson of Jacob, which was 5 generations from Abraham. Several of the older Bible translations, such as the Masoretic text and the Greek Septuagint, also listed as Job or Job, therefore making the ancient suffering prophet a descendant of the tribe of Issachar. The name Jashub means he will return. Jashub is generally known as the father of the Jashubites, descendants from the tribe of Issachar. The name Job means persecuted. Job has only been referred to as a man from Uz, with no emphasis on his genealogy. According to the King James Version of the Holy Bible, in Genesis 46:13, it states, "The sons of Issachar, Tola, Puah, Job, and Shimron." Yet according to Numbers 26:24 and 1 Chronicles 7:1, it is listed as, "Now the sons of Issachar were Tola, and Puah, and Jashub, and Shimron." The discrepancy in the names Jashub, Job is never thoroughly explained by the minority of theologians, therefore leading the majority of religious scholars to disagree with such a theory of Job descending from one of the 12 tribes of Israel based on such a minute implication. Outside of the King James Bible reference in the book of Genesis, the name Job only appears in 2 other biblical canons, in Ezekiel 14:14 and verse 20, and James 5:11. In this respect, both biblical authors assumed that Job was a real person, worthy of being noted. Regardless of the mystery of Job and his genealogy, all 3 Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, believe this man actually existed and is considered the epitome of trusting and believing in God, especially during trials and tribulations.